Every person has chapters of life they'd rather tear out. Mistakes, heartbreaks, failures, losses, seasons of confusion, moments of weakness, or things they wish they had done differently. These chapters can feel heavy and dominating, as if they set the tone for everything that comes after. But here's the truth. A bad chapter does not equal a bad story. And your life is being written in real time. You haven't read the last page yet. Today, let's walk through a journey that will help you loosen the grip of your past and reclaim the pen to write your future. 1. Recognize the chapter, but don't live inside it. Imagine picking up your favorite novel. Would you judge the entire book by the one chapter where everything fell apart? Of course not. You'd keep reading because you trust the story is still unfolding. Too often we replay the painful chapter so many times that it becomes the only one we remember. We rehearse the mistake, we relive the heartbreak, we re-feel the disappointment, and without realizing it, we start narrating our lives through the lens of that one moment. Take a slow breath and tell yourself, this happened, but it's not all of me. Acknowledgement is healthy. Attachment is not. You can recognize your past without living imprisoned by it. 2. Understand why that chapter feels so powerful. Bad chapters feel defining because they usually hit us where we're most vulnerable: identity, trust, love, dreams, or self-worth. When something shakes those foundations, it creates emotional shock waves that echo long after the moment has passed. Your brain is also wired to remember pain more vividly than peace. It's not your fault, it's biology. But your mind can be retrained. Your story can be reframed. The first step is knowing this truth. Pain leaves an imprint, but it doesn't get to write the ending. 3. Separate what happened from who you are. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is learning to distinguish between events and identity. I failed is not the same as I am a failure. I made a mistake is not I am the mistake. Someone hurt me is not I am unlovable. My life fell apart is not my life is over. Repeat to yourself, what happened to me is not the definition of me. When you untangle your worth from your wounds, your story opens again. New chapters become possible. 4. Give yourself permission to grow beyond it. Sometimes the only reason we stay stuck in a chapter is because we subconsciously feel we deserve to. Maybe you judge yourself harshly. Maybe you carry guilt or embarrassment. Maybe you fear the future because the past was painful. But growth requires permission, your permission. Tell yourself gently, I'm allowed to move forward. I'm allowed to heal. I'm allowed to become new. You don't have to earn the right to write the next chapter. You simply have to choose to turn the page. 5. Reframe the bad chapter into a building block. Think of the most inspiring people you know or admire. Almost every one of them has a chapter they thought would ruin them, but instead it became the turning point of their story. Your chapter doesn't have to be pretty to be purposeful. Ask yourself, what did this chapter teach me about myself? What strength did it reveal? What did it protect me from? How is it shaping who I am becoming? What wisdom did I gain that I didn't have before? Pain often teaches lessons comfort never could. The goal is not to pretend the chapter was good. The goal is to recognize that good can grow from it. 6. Rewrite the narrative you tell yourself. Your inner storytelling determines your emotional direction. If you keep saying, "I ruined everything," "I'm not enough," "This is who I am now," "This is the best I'll ever have," then you lock yourself into that chapter. Try shifting the narrative. "This was a hard moment, but not my whole story. This changed me, but it didn't end me. I am bigger than what I went through. This chapter is part of my past, not my identity." Your life follows the story you believe. So choose a true, empowering one. 7. Start writing the next chapter, even if it's unclear. The best way to stop letting one chapter define you is to start creating new ones. Ask yourself, what do I want to build now? Who do I want to be moving forward? What small step can I take towards that today? It doesn't have to be dramatic. A new habit, a new boundary, a new mindset, a new relationship, a new opportunity, a new decision, a new dream. Even tiny steps forward loosen the grip of the past. Progress turns the page. 8. Surround yourself with voices that speak to your future, not your failure. If you're constantly around people or thoughts who remind you of that bad chapter, it's harder to heal. Pay attention to the voices in your life. Do they lift you? Do they see your potential? Do they speak to your growth? Do they honor how far you've come? If not, it's time to shift your environment, both external and internal. Choose voices that say, "You're still growing. There's more for you. You're not finished." Because you're not. 9. Accept that every great story has plot twists. Think of the most powerful, unforgettable stories ever written. None of them are smooth from beginning to end. The conflict is what creates the character. The challenge is what makes the victory meaningful. Your life story is no different. A bad chapter isn't a curse. It's a setup. A setup for resilience, strength, clarity, courage, transformation. Your plot twist is part of your power. 10. Trust that the best pages are still ahead. Even if you can't see the ending, you don't know the next steps, or your heart is still healing, you have more life to live, more purpose to uncover, more growth to experience, more joy to discover. Your life is not defined by the page you're on. It's defined by the pages yet to be written. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that the story is far from over. Be encouraged that you are not the mistake you made, the heartbreak you endured, the failure, the embarrassment, the loss, or the trauma. And you are not the chapter you wish you could erase. You are the person who survived it, the person who grew from it, the person who is strong enough to write something new. Your story is still unfolding, and the next chapter can be beautiful, powerful, and surprising. Therefore, don't give up. Don't turn off the lantern. Your future is waiting and will be bright again.